righteous right hand, security for humanity. Don't you dare to worry, you're never alone. He's beside you, don't worry. Trust him with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Jesus never forgot about me. He calls me by my name, his goodness. Oh, taste and you'll see. Oh, taste and you will see.
I just finished the book of Joshua.
Do you maybe want the Bible study at my house today? I'd love to hear what you learned in the book of Joshua.
Oh, it's so boring here.
Maybe we can do the book of Judges as well.
That's a great idea. I can't wait.
Do you all maybe want to come to my rugby match after school? After the match, we're going to chill at my friend's place and play some Xbox. I got a cool new game.
No, I won't be able to. I've got to study for Mass.
If your dad is okay with it, after Bible study, maybe we can study math together?
That would be great.
Ugh, when is this day gonna end?
Hey, class.
Hi, Mr. Gruwell.
Hi to you too, Andrew.
Hi, Mr. Gruel.
What's wrong with you today?
Timeout is so lame. I'd rather play rugby right now.
Well, you used to always enjoy this time, so what could possibly be wrong today?
Well, I'm alone here. No one wants to even talk to me. This sucks. Ugh.
Hey, that's not true. We were discussing the Bible. Didn't you say on lunch yesterday that you don't read or speak about the Bible?
Is that really what happened? Is this true, Andrew?
Hey man, I was just kidding around.
Well, it didn't sound like that yesterday.
Okay, then, so what really happened?
I was with my few guys from the team, and Brian and Alice, and we were talking about the Bible. And the guys started to make fun of me. So I kinda said, I don't do that. I just didn't want to look bad in front of my guys. I do love reading the Bible, but the guys on the team don't think it's cool.
Well, Andrew, you're going to have to learn that it's important to stand up for what you believe in.
I know, but I was afraid that they were going to laugh at me.
Andrew, you need to live a life that represents who Jesus is. Think about it. Don't you want the friends in your rugby team to also know who Jesus is and to also read their Bibles?
Of course I do.
Well, Andrew, then you're going to have to start standing up for who you really are and what you really believe in. Much like Daniel, who was faithful to God and remained faithful. Just remember that God always protects you through these tough situations. He will never leave you.
Who's Daniel?
Well, let me show you this video.
Stories of the Bible. Daniel in the Lion's Den. This is Daniel.
Oh, hey!
Who was a Jewish man who was taken to Babylon when he was very young.
Yeah.
Daniel loved God and followed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years
Yeah, I know him.
and under many kings.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than all the other court officials.
Thanks. Well, anytime.
Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his great abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire.
Wow, okay.
The other court officials searched for some fault in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy.
Wait.
The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith.
Come on.
So they went to King Darius
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
and advised him to make a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den.
I like it.
King Darius signed this law, and once a Babylonian king signed a law, it could not be overruled. When Daniel learned of this law, he went home and knelt down, as he always did, to pray in his room with the windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to God and asking for his help. The officials went to Daniel's house and found him praying.
Gotcha.
They went to the king and reminded him of the law.
I remember.
Well,
Then they said that Daniel had been found praying to God 3 times a day.
What?
When the king heard this, he was very upset,
Get over here.
and he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to save Daniel.
wait, what?
By that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him that no law signed by the Babylonian king could be overruled. So at last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to him, "May your God, who you serve faithfully, rescue you." Then the lion's den was sealed shut with Daniel inside. The king spent the night fasting and couldn't sleep. Then very early in the morning, the king hurried to the lion's den. He called out,
Hey, Daniel.
"Was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe. There was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.
So much like Daniel, we are called to live a life that's faithful. A life that we are willing to never compromise our faith that we have in Jesus. Despite friends, peer pressure, whatever Instagram or Facebook tries to tell you, we follow Jesus. Because why? We are called to stand out and not fit in. Because when you call to stand out, it means you will eventually influence the people around you. You will influence your friends to do the same things that you are doing, the things that God has called us to do. It might not always be easy and it might not always come quickly, but as soon as you start living this life where you keep remaining steadfast, keep trusting in Jesus, keep doing the right stuff, you will influence your friends. The life of Daniel was hard. He went through a lot of stuff, a lot of difficult moments. Like we also will go through difficult moments. But the key thing is that we remain faithful to God. As we've learned over these 2 weeks about obedience and faithfulness, that all requires us standing out for the name of Jesus and not being afraid and not being able to compromise no matter how hard it gets. I hope you guys understand this.
I got an idea. After our rugby match, instead of playing Xbox, why don't you and Brian join me and we do some Bible study with the guys? I think I want to tell them about Daniel in the lion's den. That might definitely get their attention.
There you go, Andrew. Now that's the spirit. Well, from us, the Breakfast Squad, bye.
Bye.